Can the Fever make the WNBA playoffs? Latest on Indiana's postseason hopes with Caitlin Clark injured. At the start of 2025, the Indiana Fever looked like a team ready to finally break through. With new coach Stephanie White steering the ship and superstar Caitlin Clark drawing national attention, a deep playoff run seemed within reach. But injuries have rewritten the script. Clark has been sidelined since July 15, and along the way the Fever also lost Sydney Colson, Ari McDonald and Sophie Cunningham. The roster has been stripped thin, but somehow the Fever are still alive in the playoff race. With elimination looming for teams across the league, Indiana faces the ultimate test. Can they secure a playoff spot without their franchise player? Where do the Indiana Fever stand in the playoff race without Caitlin Clark? The numbers tell an encouraging story. The Fever sit at 21-19 in the WNBA with just 4 games left in the regular season. Their closest pursuer, the 9th-seeded Los Angeles Sparks, at 18-20, trails by 3 games with time running out. Meanwhile, the 10th-seeded Washington Mystics have already been eliminated at 16-25, meaning Indiana's path to the playoffs has narrowed to a manageable challenge. The Fever's .525 winning percentage aligns with historical 8th-seed standards, while their plus 2.3-point differential shows they've remained competitive despite the adversity. ESPN's Basketball Power Index reinforces this optimism, giving them a 99.2% chance of making the postseason. The math strongly favors Indiana, but anyone who's followed this injury-riddled campaign knows nothing has come easily. Looking at the remaining schedule, 3 of the Fever's final 4 games come against teams with limited playoff implications. Matchups with the Phoenix Mercury, Chicago Sky and Washington Mystics offer realistic opportunities for victories, especially considering both the Sky and Mystics have already been eliminated from postseason contention. Given that Washington's 16-25 record makes it mathematically impossible for them to catch Indiana, the Fever control their own destiny. Unless they experience a complete collapse, a playoff berth appears secure. Can the Fever maintain their playoff push in Clark's absence? Clark's absence since July 15 has fundamentally altered this team's identity. She was the floor general who orchestrated everything, and her loss created a massive void in both leadership and production. Since her injury, the Fever have posted a 9-9 record, showing they've stayed afloat while struggling to maintain their earlier momentum. The reason Indiana hasn't collapsed comes down to players like Kelsey Mitchell and Aliyah Boston stepping into larger roles. Mitchell has been exceptional, averaging over 21 points per game in her last 10 outings while carrying the offensive load. Her consistency has reminded everyone why she ranks among the league's most underrated talents. Boston has shown remarkable growth during this challenging stretch, posting averages of 14.9 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 3 assists over her last 10 games. Her expanded role has revealed new dimensions to her game, particularly in playmaking, which has helped keep the offense balanced when Mitchell needs support. The addition of Odyssey Sims has provided crucial stability at point guard. In 8 games since joining the team, Sims has contributed 10.6 points, 4.1 assists, and 2.3 rebounds. While she can't replicate Clark's unique impact, she's offered steady leadership and kept the offense functional during critical moments. The answer to whether Indiana can make the playoffs without Clark appears to be yes. The standings, schedule, and recent performance all point toward a postseason berth. They've already reached the projected win total needed for the 8th seed, and with 2 games against eliminated opponents remaining, they should add to their total. However, the bigger truth is that without Clark, this team's ceiling has been significantly lowered. Mitchell and Boston have done everything possible to keep the Fever competitive, and Sims has helped stabilize the situation, but the depth issues are undeniable. Making the playoffs would represent a meaningful accomplishment given the circumstances, showcasing the team's resilience through a season filled with setbacks. Indiana won't be the dangerous playoff contender fans envisioned when the season began, with Clark healthy and expectations soaring. Instead, they'll enter the postseason as a team that survived rather than thrived. Still, securing a playoff spot after losing their best player for nearly half the season would prove this franchise has the foundation to build something special when fully healthy.